Hi everyone, today I'm sharing something really exciting because we just built our very first official n8n node for a client's API. And this wasn't just about helping one company automate, but for making an API accessible to all their customers who don't know how to program. And in this video, I'll explain the problem, how we solved it, and take you behind the scenes of the actual development process from code to npm publishing. So how did this happen? This client reached out on us on LinkedIn because they run a SaaS platform with an API, and lots of the users wanted to connect it with their favorite tools. For example, CRMs, databases, dashboards, but they all had one big problem. They had an API, but not everyone knew how to use it without coding. So they told us, our customers keep asking us for automation, but they are not developers. So we want to give them an official n8n node so users can plug this into their n8n workflows and use it without coding. So that is where we stepped in. If you have ever looked at an API, you know it can be intimidating. Documentation, endpoints, headers, authentication. It is all great for us developers, but not for non-technical users. So without an official node, these customers couldn't do much unless they hired a developer, which kills the no-code promise. So the challenge was pretty clear. It was turning this API into something anyone could use inside n8n, which is a few clicks. So as you see, this is the landing page. I don't get paid for making this video, but I have been testing the tool throughout this last week, and I have liked the way it works. So I will leave the link in the description just in case you want to have a look at it. First off, n8n nodes are written in TypeScript. So each node has a definition, it has a name, description, inputs, outputs, and the operation it can perform. So we started by mapping the client's API endpoints. So the first thing we thought is, what's the authentication methods? What are the actions that most users are going to do? And the first thing had to do with authentication. And the good news here is that the client already had API keys implemented for authentication. And this made things pretty straightforward because we just have to wire that into the node config. And this is basically done through this file in the credentials folder. So you have to specify how you are going to authenticate with that endpoint. And as you see, we define this property here that says API key. And this is the place where the user is going to specify his API key. And this is going to be sent after in the authentication header of the HTTP request. So pretty simple here if you have worked with REST before, but in case you don't, you see that it's not very hard to understand. So when we did this, we went to build the core operations. For example, the item creation, data action retrieval, and so on. So as you see, we have this folder here on the left side that says resources. We created this to organize every domain because this API was pretty big, had like 10 different resources. And as I'll explain after, we didn't migrate all of the endpoints because some of them didn't make sense. For example, there was a media endpoint that you see here, but doesn't have all of the operations available in the API because this endpoint was thought for uploading videos and media, and this doesn't have much sense on an n8n pipeline, so we just kept it. I'm going to show you the post example so you can have a better understanding of the way it works. So this endpoint is used to schedule a post, and the same on the API. You can have a look at it before so you understand this real example. But basically, this allows you to post a post on social media. So you can specify the content, which is going to be the text on the post, then the time at which is going to be scheduled, time zone, if you want to publish it now or schedule it for the future, and then if it is a draft, and some other fields that allows you to customize this request. And when talking about the development process, we started by working with the n8n npm dependency, but we had some problems with it, and then went to use Docker to simplify the process and be able to replicate it on both Windows and Mac. So I'm going to show you a quick script that we did to spin up every container and so on. So I'm going to make this big so you can see it. And basically what this does is build the dependency and then spin up a container using Docker Compose. Pretty basic, but this allows us to restart the process every time we make a change. And I'm going to show you the Docker. Pretty basic too. It takes the dependency, spins a container, and puts a couple of environment variables that you can see in the documentation. So far, pretty basic. I'm going to go to the n8n console so you can see how this is seen on that console. And we have a very simple example here that will help you understand this use case. So as I have said, this API from the client, what does is schedule posts on social media. So this is quite useful if you want to fully automate your posting on socials. For example, I have put this node that allows you to specify a blog URL. And if it has RSS, you can take the articles here and then convert that onto a post that is automated and published automatically. So this is just an example. You can be creative, use AI to summarize some kind of articles and convert it into a post. So this is up to your imagination. This was just a quick example so you can understand this case better. And then once we had everything working, we had to publish it to the npm registry to be able to submit it to n8n. So how did we do this? Basically, you are here and then you have to run the npm pack command. So what this does is compress the project. It lints every file so it matches the n8n requirements. As you see here in the package.json, I'll leave the repo on the description so you can see it in GitHub and so on, just in case you are curious. But as you see here on the islint file, there is an official linter from n8n that is obviously required when publishing to the public repo. So if you don't lint your code with this, you will probably get rejected. So make sure you do it before submitting it officially. And I won't be publishing it again because I have already done it. Our latest version is 002. We'll go to the npm registry so you can have a look at it. And two other requirements that you have to meet is the MIT license. Your project needs that. And then you don't have to have any dependency on your project. We made this error at the beginning and we included these dependencies on the project. You can indeed use them, but don't specify it on the dependencies node. Do it on the dev dependencies node because otherwise you will get rejected. So these two requirements, make sure you meet them, and then the linter, obviously. I will leave the article from n8n on the description so you can have a look at some other requirements that are needed when publishing these to the official registry. And once you have done this and you have published your dependency to n8n, you can grab this URL and submit it to n8n. It normally takes 1 day or two, but they have an automated process. So if you meet all the requirements at the very first beginning, you will have it accepted at the first time. So this was everything on today's video. Hope you guys liked it. As I have said, I will leave the links in the description below in case you are curious and want to have a look at it. And in case you have another question or something, you can obviously leave it in the comments and we'll try our best. So have a great day and goodbye.